Today we're moving into our second day of applications, just as easy as the first day, but a little bit different. So what we have here is it says that we always need to read the question and define the variables first. So in our first example, it says a ticket to Six Flags costs $40 for children and $50 for adults. On an afternoon last summer, 30 people went to Six Flags. That afternoon, they made $1,380. How many children and how many adults attended? So now that we have read it, we can define our variables. So it's in our question, it says how many children, so I'll use letter C to represent children, and how many adults. So I'll use letter A to represent adults. Then it says, in this type, are there $3 signs? Put those values together. So I call this type money, money, money. So it's different from what we did yesterday because today we have $3 signs. So what it says, it's $40 for children plus $50 for adults, and they earn a total of $1,380. So that's how we create our first equation, is when we have $3 signs. I call it money, money, money. You put all of those dollar signs together. Then to create the second equation, it says find the other total. So the other number is the number 30. 30 was talking about people. What types of people do we have? We have children and we have adults, and it makes a total of 30 people. It will look just like this every single time. So now that we have two equations with our two unknowns, we can type it into the calculator, menu, algebra, system of equations. You can change your variables to C and A. And what you would get is the number 12, 18. So just like we said yesterday, if you just leave it as 1218, that's great, but that doesn't actually answer the question. 12, 18 does not tell me how many children and how many adults there are. So C came first, so the 12 has to represent the C. A came second, so the 18 has to represent the A. So we write it in words. There were 12 children and 18 adults. Now we have answered the question. Now we know exactly how many children and how many adults went to Six Flags on that afternoon. So let's try the same thing one more time. It says tickets to a movie cost $7.25 for adults and $5.50 for students. A group of friends purchased 8 tickets for a total of $52.75. Determine the total number of adult and student tickets. So now that we've read the question, we can define our variables. I'm going to use the letter A to represent adult, because that's what it's asking for in the question. And I'm going to use letter S to represent student. Now that I've defined my variables, I'm looking to see, is it a money, money, money question? Yes, absolutely it is. So we put those three values together. It costs $7.25 for adults plus $5.50 for students, and that's a total of $52.75. First equation's done. I put my $3 signs together. Second equation, find the other total. The other total is 8 tickets. What types of tickets were there? There were adult tickets and there were student tickets. Just like we said last time, we need two equations. The two unknowns, the two variables, must be in both equations. So now that we have two equations, we can very easily type that into the calculator, and you would get the answer 5, 3. So again, 5, 3 is great, but that's not the answer. The answer says how many adults and how many students. So I need the word adult and the word student in my answer. Adults came first, students came second, so now I know what to write. There were 5 adults and there were 3 students that attended that movie. Very, very easy. So now we're going to do the same thing, but slightly different, but in the same world. So remember, I call this money, 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 because we have money plus money equals total money. So we're going to try that exact same thing, but now instead of dollar signs, it's a little blurry, but we'll make it work. So it says instead of dollar signs, there's going to be a word that repeats itself 3 times. So just like money plus money equals total money, it's the same idea, but it's a different word that they're using here. So let's see what that means. So it says a test is broken down into 3-point essay questions and 4-point multiple choice questions. The test is worth a total of 100 points, and there are 28 questions. How many of each type of question will be on the test? So we have, I'm going to call it X and Y for this one because I don't like to have, variables can't be numbers, so I'll use X and Y. So X is my 3-point question and Y is my 4-point question. So it says, instead of money, 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 it says points plus points equals total points. So I put those numbers together because they have the same word. So it's 3 for that point question. Actually, what we can do, make that easier. What's happening here is that it was essay. So this is the essay question, which was 3 points, and this was the multiple choice question. So I have 3 points for the essay question, plus I have 4 points for the multiple choice question, and that makes a total of 100 points. Then it has another total. The other total is 28. There are 28 questions. What types of questions? Essay plus multiple choice equals 28. So in this one here, instead of money plus money equals total money, we had points plus points equals total points. So now you can plug that in. And when you do that, you end up with 12, 16. So I tie some letters to it. 12 was my essay, 16 was my multiple choice. So there were 12 essay questions, and there were 16 multiple choice questions. I could have used the letters E and M for essay and multiple choice. I just used X and Y in this one, but you could always use E and M. Points plus points equals total points. So let's set up one more type like this. It says there are 9 books stacked on a shelf. The thickness of each book is either 1 inch or 2 inches. The height of the stack is 14 inches. How many of each type of book is in this stack? So in this one here, it says inches plus inches equals total inches. So I have X is going to be my first type of book, which is the 1-inch book. And Y is the second type, which is the 2-inch book. So now I put my numbers together. 1-inch book plus 2-inch book equals a total of 14 inches. Inches plus inches equals total inches. Now the only other number we have here is a 9. So that's my other total. Just like always, it's going to be X, one type, plus Y, the other type, equals 9. So now that we have 2 equations with 2 unknowns, you can type that in and see what you get. So try the same thing for numbers 1 through 5. Number 1, money plus money equals total money. Number 2, money plus money equals total money. So easy. Number 3, points plus points equals total points. You'll turn all of those numbers into one equation. Number 4, it says credits plus credits equals total credits. You find the thing that repeats itself 3 times. Credits plus credits equals total credits. And then the last one goes back to $3 signs. So again, it's money plus money equals total money. Very easy. So go ahead, try numbers 1 through 5. Okay, last piece of today, flip, is the easiest. I like these a lot. So this last type here is called coins. So in our coins questions, I know it's a coins questions because it says the word penny, nickel, dime, or quarter. So as always, we read the question first, read the whole thing, then we define our variables. Very easy. So example 1, it says Liz has $1.15 in nickels and dimes in her pocket. The cashier gave her back 20 coins. How many of each kind did she receive? So before we do this, we need to know the value of each type of coin. So I know that a penny is worth 1 cent. So I'm going to put 0.01. I know that a nickel is worth 5 cents. So that's 0.05. I know that a dime is worth 10 cents. 0.10. And I know that a quarter is worth 25 cents. So we call that 0.25. So the thing to be careful, penny is not just 0.1, but it's 0.01. A nickel is not 0.5, but it's 0.05. So now we can begin with our steps. Step 1, circle the numbers and make them totals, okay? So I have $1.15. Then I have 20 coins. Done. Step 1, finished. Step 2, the value of each coin must go with the total number. So let's go back and define our variables here. I'm going to use the letter N for nickels. I'm going to use the letter D for dime. So what this said is the value of the coin must go with the total money. So what is the value of a nickel? We said a nickel is 0.05. The value of a dime, we said, is 0.10. So again, it's money plus money equals total money, or decimal plus decimal equals the total decimal. These have to go together. Don't forget your N and your D. If you forget your letters, it's not going to work. So the value of the money must go with the total number, the total amount of money. That's done. So now it says if we had 20 coins, what types of coins did we have? We had nickels and we had dimes to create a total of 20 coins. So now we have our two equations with our two unknowns. Money plus money equals total money. We are ready to type that in. If you type it incorrectly, let's see. We end up with 17, 3. As always, 17.3 is great. We need that, but I also need more specifics. So I need to know that N came first and D came second, which means that we had 17 nickels and we have 3 dimes. 17 nickels and 3 dimes. So let's look at one more together, and then you can try a couple of these on your own. So this one said, David emptied his pockets and found that he has 30 coins worth $4.80. He only had quarters and dimes. How many of each type did he have? So he has quarters, which we'll call Q. And he has dimes, which we're going to call D. So it says, make your numbers totals. Circle the numbers and make them the totals. So this is a total and this is the total. I like to put the money first. It doesn't matter which one it goes, but I like to make the money total the first one I see, and then the coins total the second one. So now remember, money plus money equals total money. So the value of a quarter is 0.25 cents. The value of a dime is 0.10, equals a total of $4.80. Quarters and dimes equals 30 coins. 2 equations with 2 unknowns. We can type that in the calculator. 0.25Q plus 0.10D equals 4.80. Be careful. Decimal plus decimal equals total decimal. Once you type that in, you get the solution, 12,18. As always, 1218 is great, but we need some words. 12Q came first, D came second. That means that we have 12 quarters and 18 dimes. So sometimes they're only going to ask you to set it up. They'll say, hey, here's an example, set up the two equations. But other times they want to know the answer. How many of each coins does he have? He has 12 quarters and 18 dimes. So easy. Okay, go ahead and try these two, number 6 and number 7. And then we have some mixed practice with one of each type. One from yesterday, and then 2 from today.